So I'm currently standing on 46th Street and 5th Avenue, and we are looking at the future construction site of 570 5th Avenue. So this is a new commercial and retail high-rise building that will take place here. And it went through several revisions. Construction really hasn't started. Demolition has completed, but nothing as of yet. The current date is November 22nd, 2024. Really, the project changed into a almost 1,100 foot building with 78 floors to now only a 29-story building with an unknown height length. The plan really changed when Ikea came in and decided to take a stake in the building. I believe they took a 1/3 stake in the building, and so they will be occupying the first floor with their, I don't know if it'll be like their flagship store here in the city. I know they already have, I believe, one or two. I know at least one. But given that this is going to be on 5th Ave, just a block or two away from Rockefeller Center, this might be their flagship store. So from the renders, I'll put some up here, and these renders are mostly the original renders when it was supposed to be the super tall. There was a building in the corner over here that they were supposed to build around, and it almost, the building was going to have this sort of cantilever design, I believe, or at least just crop out that corner. And it was a pretty cool design because some people may say that it ruins the architecture by just having this one stubborn person who doesn't want to leave. But to me, it's emblematic of, doing construction in New York City and how, we really value property rights, and it really ends up working in the architect's favor because they end up building a really nice looking building to accommodate that that problem. And a perfect case in point is the City Court building, which has this beautiful cantilever design that hovers over the church in the corner that didn't want to move. But I am here, and it looks like they demoed that corner building as well. I do not see any corner building here. It was supposed to be in this corner, right, the corner of 46th and 5th Ave, but as you can see, it's not there. So this is really sort of the third major development that's happening in 5th Ave. The first one is 520 5th Ave, which is largely a residential/hotel, I think, space. And 665 5th Ave, which is actually Rolex's headquarters, or one of their offices. So we'll be looking at that as well. But this too will be a purely commercial and retail space, no residential. So that's nice to see. Usually with these commercial spaces, they tend to do more with them in terms of design than the residential spaces, in my opinion. Because the residential spaces, they focus more on the interior than they do the exterior. And for the commercial spaces, the interiors are not as important as the exterior. Because with the commercial spaces, you want that curb factor, but the inside are just offices. You're not going to make, you can't make offices too fancy. So it's nice to see a commercial space. Although from the renders so far, the building doesn't look too special. It just looks like a normal glass structure. So it'll be interesting to see what Ikea does to their sort of first and second floor. I don't know how many floors they'll occupy, but again, given that this is on 5th Ave, this will be a major store, in my opinion. Another development that's taking place on 5th Ave is 5th Ave itself, which is going to be redesigning the way the avenue is and sort of reversing what a lot of people don't know is, during the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, even up into the 60s, a lot of New York City streets and avenues were widened in terms of the road to allow room for more lanes, for more cars. And as a result, the sidewalks were reduced. I mean, if you look at old pictures of New York from the early 20th century, the sidewalks were a lot larger than they are now. And it's nice to see that reversal, because right now, I mean, Fifth Ave isn't too bad, but I think there are other avenues like Lexington and Madison that are a lot worse, where the sidewalk that you're walking on is only like a couple of feet wide, and it's really, really cramped, and you're walking right against the side of a building, and then you have like a 5-6 lane avenue. So it's nice to see New York sort of reversing, finally focusing on the pedestrians and really expanding some of the sidewalks, because if you look at the earlier photos, you just had these large sidewalks with tons of room to walk, and I think given that, we can even add some greenery to the sidewalks, some trees, some planters, so it'll be really interesting. It is set to complete in 2028, so demolition of this entire complex here started in 2021. And I'm going to have to look into when this quarter building was demolished, because, again, I thought that I was expecting it to be here. I was going to talk all about it, but it looks like they managed to buy that out as well. So this is where we're at. Again, November, nothing started, just a flat plane. Let's go ahead and move closer, actually, and I'll give you a closer look of the inside. We have a little gap in the fencing here. Yeah, so you can see there's nothing started as of yet. But this is a prime location. Again, we're just a couple of blocks away from Rockefeller Center and, of course, Fifth Ave. So it's nice to see some new retail space here.